Coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Thanks.
Click subscribe and the bell. Do it now!
I'm here with the one, the only Coyote. Jayo, 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 Jayo. 你好吗, Coyote?
我是好，谢谢你，你好吗?
Very good. Kyle's been in China, almost on learning to grow, growing to learn. Over there running the gym. How's it been over there in China?
It's ever changing. I don't know how to say it. It's still different. You know what I mean? I came back home for this brief time for this fight, man, and it's still night and day for me. I don't know. I love both places, but this is definitely home here in New York.
What's the time difference?
12 hours.
And when did you get in, man? You look exhausted.
Well, thank you. It's nice to see you too. Now, I got in the 8th or 9th.
Nice. So you've been here quite a bit of a while. I know you've been training here.
Minnesota for my daughter's birthday. My wife and my kids are in Minnesota with my wife's family right now.
Nice.
I came to New York very quick, went to see them, and then I came right back here on the 12th to get ready for the fight.
Nice. How did you end up coming in from China to fight in New York? That's quite a long trip to just battle it out.
Well, it's the first ever cage fights in my hometown. You know, like Attica, New York is a very small community, and I had the pleasure of growing up there. So when I hear there may be a fight there, I felt like I needed to be involved, and the stars aligned. You know, it was just there's a lot of different reasons for it. Number one is a tribute to my coach, John Cook, the recently deceased great man, and basically doing like one more memorial fight for him. And when I say one more, that's reason number two is I get to retire finally on my terms. I haven't fought since my kids have been born, so now this can be considered finally my last one officially, I guess. The fight gets done, I can take my gloves off and lie them down and walk away and feel good about everything I've done.
It's nice to be able to return to your hometown.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like it was illegal in our state, as you know. Like when we started, MMA was illegal here. So to go from the beginnings here and then the full circle all the way around the world, come back and have my last one be here. I mean, it's really funny. Basically, where the cage is, where the event will take place, maybe 100 feet from there, in my childhood was the place I first got punched in the face, and maybe like the other direction in like a triangle, about 300 feet was the place I threw my first ever punch, like across the street. So it's nostalgic to say the least, and maybe even a bit serendipity, but you know, it just makes sense. So here I am.
We tried to do this podcast Monday. It didn't work out. We had technical difficulties, and I couldn't make it Tuesday. Like, man, it's been a long time coming, but I really want to have you on. I got my start doing podcasts. I got my start like really knowing what fighting was. I feel like commentating. It all comes to you, and I know like this is a retirement fight for you, and I know it's a big deal in Attica. And I know everyone was happy to have you back, and I know how much like the community's helping out in Attica, and they're donating the money to like the fire department, and there's all kinds of good stuff going on. So definitely want to have you on, and like it's an honor to be part of anything that you have to do, and to be part of your last fight. And, like even just having you on the podcast feels amazing to me.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much. I've been there at your fights as well. I've had the honor of calling you when you got the scrap, and I've also had the honor of sharing the booth with you. So it's very much like I said, this whole crazy circle of life and like evolution that is MMA for all of us athletes or former athletes. It's wild, dude. I mean, I remember the first time I actually met you. You and Ferrant were screaming behind me at a kickboxing fight in Tonawanda. And you were actually screaming for the person who was beating up my student at the time. And I was like, what are these guys? And I started like talking to these guys. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but don't have to be this aggressive. And yeah, I mean, years later, it turns out to be you and Keith. Come on. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be part of the ride. And now it's strange. Like a big part of it for me is going to be different and done and closed. But I'm happy and I'm ready for it. It's just one of those things, I guess. I mean, like, I can equate this to quitting smoking cigarettes. For a long time, I smoked cigarettes like before MMA, all that stuff. I used to be big into it, and everybody kept telling me, "Oh, you have to quit. You have to quit. It's so bad for you. It's bad for your health. All that." I never thought twice about doing it until I actually wanted to do it. And then, like, when I wanted to be done, I was just done, and it was cool. And same thing with my MMA career. There's always going to be people that support you and who are happy for you when you win. They want to criticize you and coach you when you lose, all that stuff. But there's always people that are going to tell you to quit because it's bad for you. And they're not wrong. To a degree, for life, they're not right. But now that I'm ready to, I'm cool with it. Like I'm ready to be done. Just go on and start coaching, and focus on other people who want to, I guess, help evolve the sport and help it grow and help it continue. Then hopefully there is some kind of a guidance.
You've been coaching for a long time. What changed that makes you want to retire now? Just like banging out all these guys and seeing all the young faces, or just the wear and tear, or the family, or
Well, I mean, mainly for me, it's the kids. I don't want them to see me fight. Two is like there's as you know, there's a UFC Performance Institute in Shanghai, where I'm based at. So like now and then I'll go and I'll spar with these guys. Like if they have fights coming up, I'll go in and do some rounds with them. And even when I'm in my best shape, man, like these kids are doing stuff that like you and I would have called gimmick moves back in the day, and it's just part of like the normal regimen now. So there's been a definite step forward in the sport of MMA itself, and between being a dad and a business owner, I just don't have the time to keep up with that evolution anymore. Like I don't. I still have the desire to, and like the want to have all these moves or transitions are in my repertoire, but the reality is I'm not jumping or moving the way I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, so that's not going to get any faster. So now that I'm able to present myself with some kind of a shell of what I used to be, you know what I mean, especially in kickboxing, like I can throw down kickboxing no problem, 3 rounds. Let's go out and put on one last hurrah and put one more feather in my cap. Tribute to my coach. Bang it out. Treat somebody like crap for 10 minutes of my life, and then go on with it.
how old are you, Kyle?
I'm 40 years old now. I just turned 40 last Sunday.
Oh man, happy birthday! You're still young,
Thank you.
man. Wait till you hit 45, it gets worse, and then 46, it just really starts going downhill.
Well, thank
So
you.
Are you gonna go back and you're gonna continue coaching China, or are you back here the same?
Oh, I'll go back to China after the fight. I have at least another probably another 2 years there, at least, maybe more. Who knows? Hopefully not more.
Can you see the comments? You guys are similar. I can tell I came up in the same fight time just by listening to him for 5 minutes.
I can't see any of the comments now.
Yeah, so the comment is, you guys are so similar. I can tell you came up in the same fight time just by listening to you for 5 minutes.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true.
I tell everybody all about the Herbert stories all the time, so they know.
Eric will be in my corner for my last fight, actually, and that was very important to me that he's in there.
That's awesome.
Well, it's we started doing this before it was cool. I don't know, for some reason at that point to us it was cool, but it really wasn't mainstream as of yet. So even though we are not the original like OG, we are for our area MMA OGs. So it's like now everybody kind of like laughs at us, they're all like boomer jokes and conversation. Dude, that same thing is true in the gym, and it that's when it really sucks and it really like gets close to home. It's like I'll be moving with these dudes and a couple of these younger guys, especially in China. I'll be switching stances, moving forward, even like over rotating my hip on purpose, and still just like that far away from touching their chin, that far away, and they're just kind of smiling. It's like, you little prick, like. I know you know that I know, and that makes me hate you even more.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. It's it only gets worse after that.
Exactly. So, and that was a good time to hang them up. I'll put on one more good show. Somebody I know very well. He's gonna come out, man. He hits so hard. That's what sucks. Wouldn't that be the worst? Like my retirement fight. Never been knocked out. Watch my last fight or get bodied in like a minute. Watch it happen.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit too tough for that. I know Izzy's like, man, Izzy's got cannons in his hands, but you got that extra like Attica, extra hide your brain in your butt kind of.
We'll see. We'll see if that's over. Let's hope it does.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you're gonna do this, and I'm so glad you came home and you're here for the Attica show. I talk with Dan a lot, and I know how important it is to him and how important it is to the area, and that you came back for it is something special, man. And I hope this event is everything you hope it is.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Go ahead.
No, it's
I was like, how can fans get last minute tickets? I also know, so if you get general admission, bring your own seating as well.
Yeah, it's wild Attica. So it's crazy. Like they had boxing fights apparently, like right about where we are, close to the train tracks, like almost 100 years ago. And now we got cage fights a century later in the park. There's still going to be tickets available. I have like one table in my Coyotes corner. I have one table left, and I think 6 general admission tickets left. But there will be more available at weigh-ins, and then more available at the door for people who are lazy and just don't get their stuff done on time. Just show up. But whatever, we're there. We're doing it.
Guys, if you get tickets from Kyle, I'm sure Kyle gets a significant kickback for the tickets. So make sure you get them from Kyle. Please support your hungry fighters. He's got kids, man. He needs the money.
Right. Oh man, I'm so sad they're not here. That does suck. That sucks. But
so is this an exhibition or is it a pro fight?
So because of the rules in our great state of New York and this athletic committee, this has to be an exhibition kickboxing. Initially, we wanted a pro MMA, but due to all these red tape and commission regulations, it would have been a lot more headache than it was worth in the end. So just to be able to fight at home, we had to agree to this. But as I said before, it's not going to take this thing off any of these kicks. Like it's still going to be something like both of us want to do it. And it was a joke, but it's one of those. How do I say it? It's like a joke right when you're done sparring. You know what I mean? It's like, I love you. This is a hug, but it's a hug. Like it's.
Yeah.
I know you understand what I'm saying. It's very hard for me to articulate what I'm trying to actually word out. But man, it's no. We both want to do this. I think for individual sake, for a favor to each other, and also the love
Oh
for
man, you're very popular.
yeah. Getting a call. Hold on.
I'll try and put into words what Kyle's saying. So when Kyle says it's like serious but not really serious, that means as soon as the punches start, it's going to be very deadly serious. So it's like two guys that like to punch each other in the face for fun. Uh, yeah, we should do this. It's going to be really fun. And then when you get in there, it's going to be a real contest. Like no one's going to back down. You're going to go 100%. You're really trying to make each other look bad, but you're doing it out of love. And those are some of the best fights that you ever see. So, like if you think Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, fights like that, those are the kind of fights that Coyote's talking about. So, man, if you can get tickets to watch that, it's going to be worth it. I can promise you that Kyle is a special kind of person, like the same kind of special I am. So, like, I love it. Definitely more special. You're way tougher than me, for real.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, but thank you very much.
I definitely know about that. Kyle's a pioneer, and he went for it all, and he went to China for it all. He made a living over in a foreign country, a communist foreign country, and he's an American. He's doing very special things, and people like you need to be celebrated, man. And I don't think you really don't get the accolades that you deserve back home, and people forgot about you, but I never forgot, dude. It's because you were in Ohio so long. I think if you would have stayed in Buffalo for all that career before you left, people would
Yeah,
know who you are. I bet you're just popular in Ohio, but New York needs to remember you too.
well, I appreciate that very much, man. And honestly, like it was a very difficult decision for me to make. And I remember I was at Victory MMA, with Eric Herbert, Don Lilly, Tommy Neff. I was very happy. I was extremely happy. The thing that scared me was that I felt like at the time this was a young man's game, and I was already starting, I guess, late according to the average. So a big part of me had to get where the competition was, and at that time you go to Ohio and there was a fight every month. Whereas if I'm in New York, maybe I'm waiting half a year, 8 months, who knows?
And we're going out of state to fight anyways. If you're a pro, like it was illegal. People don't understand, man. Like the times are so different now.
Right. So I mean that was my big thing. And I mean not only that, but it was just more difficult. I remember at the time I was working at a karate dojo, and to kind of help pay my bills and everything. And I was actually living with Pistol Pete. I was living with Pete.
Pete
And
Mazio getting a shout out.
right, yeah, dude. Pete D. Pence. We were getting a good training and everything. But it just got to be to a point where I was so focused and so obsessed on this, like this has to be my job. And the karate dojo wasn't paying enough for me just like to basically live and train everything that I need to do. So I got an offer from Ohio, like, if I go there and I'm at this gym, free training, they'll help me find fights, I'll have a place to live. So yeah, let's do this. Let's see where this road goes. So we did, and wow, man, here we are. Like 12 years later, 13 years later, 14.
Damn.
No,
We're old, dude. It's got to be more than 14, right?
yeah, 15 years later.
Yeah, holy shit. We're old, old. How did you make it to China? So I never really heard the story how you got to China in the first place.
Okay. So it was 2000, I want to say 12. I had a nice little hot streak going. I was at Evolve in Ohio, putting in my work and doing everything, and I was having a pretty successful couple years. I got an invite from this guy from Ohio who is already in China to come out and basically just like they try our hand, like do it 3 months, see how you like it. We'll have some kickboxing fights, MMA fights. And initially it was like cool, I'll go see where my kickboxing's at, like check my level with people who've been doing it their whole life. So I went out initially for 3 months. I was courting Rebecca Heinzman at the time. So, I invited her to come out as well. And she also came out and got some fights with me. And yeah, we went for 3 months. I think we had in that short amount of time, we had 5 or 6 fights. And we ended up coaching classes at this gym. People liked us a lot. So we came back again for another 3 months. And it just really, it was crazy. There were times where I was fighting twice in a night, 3 times in a week. Whereas in America, I was waiting 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to fight. I know I was trying to get my work in, I guess, so China started to make sense very quickly. And all of a sudden, it's 1 month, I have 6 fights. That's crazy. And I was cool with it. I was making money. I found out not as much as I should have been. We have a whole tumultuous, scandalous story with all our managers and everybody that we business partners with. But regardless, we after that second 3-month stay, we decided to come out and just make it a permanent home. And yeah, just kind of had a gym fall in our laps, and we continued with it, and here we are 9 years later.
That's so crazy. It's like such a love story too.
Yeah.
Uh, man, it's so awesome watching you guys get over there and you see the love and all the fights that you guys did together. It was inspiring at the time, man, and I was so happy that you were living your dream, and I kind of lived through your posts and stuff. So I was excited that you were over there doing something. It's amazing, what you can do when you just go for things, and it's so inspirational, man. And I'm so glad you're coming to Attica this Saturday. Well, put it on the line. So make sure you guys go get some tickets for this. FCP putting a show on in Attica.
Crazy, dude. This would be my 30th overall kickboxing fight.
Damn.
Yeah, 30 kickboxing fights, 40 MMA fights, 4 boxing, 4 Muay Thai, and I include all the Sanda in the kickboxing. But yeah, it's
That's quite the career, dude. I can't believe that you're gonna lay him down, man. Even now I'm 46. I was like, man, I wish I could do one more. It never goes away.
I know you were one of the names that came up.
Yeah, I know. I started training for it. I was like, oh, Kyle's not fucking around. It'll be a good one, so I better start getting in shape.
Yeah, you were a name that was tossed around, and I was thinking about that too, and I was just like, man, I don't even know where I would go with this. Really, I didn't know when the idea first started, like what direction it would be. Cause like I always had it in mind for everything, but it's like as soon as it was mentioned, like being in New York, I'm like, oh man, like Caveman's around the corner, like you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, I gotta call this dude. I gotta get hold of him somehow. I gotta see what's up.
If we fought each other, we'd have to have Eric switch corners every round.
Right, right. No, I was very selective with my corner. I have three in my corner right now. One of them is Eric Herbert. The other one is Darren White, who was my very first. He was a corner for my very first fight that I had, but he was the reason I started really in MMA at all. And then John Cook's son, Carter Cook, will be my third corner. So it's very very meaningful. Get to lay my gloves down and look at my coach's eyes, I guess. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
So I don't think most of my fans are gonna know who John Cook is. Can you explain the relationship that you guys had? I know how important he was to you, and I know that he passed. And I know, like, I don't want to like bring you down. If you don't want to talk about it, I understand. But I think it'd be a great little segue.
No, so John was the founder of Evolve MMA in Ohio, in Medina, Ohio, and that place. I don't know how else to say it. It was just like you could walk in there and everybody. There'd be like 30 dudes, 40 dudes even, like around your weight, ready to spar. They look like beasts, and like more. Everybody's puffing their chest, but it's like when John came in, I always called him our artful dodger. You know what I mean? Because there's orphans. There's like all these little Oliver Twists running around. Like John came in, and everybody wants to pay the artful dodger, the Papa Bear. Yeah, it was cool, man. Like he got everybody in line, and like a bunch of egos that we had, myself included. And everybody wanted to do their own thing. Everybody had their own ideas, and everybody had their own ways of getting better. But he somehow managed to get like this crazy. It was basically a small army. He got like a small army in line. And man, once we were together, it was unreal. Some of those training sessions and months there and stuff were unreal. It's like I really don't even have words for some of it. The talent that came from that room and all the accomplishments that came from that room, it's just insane. And this guy was the main reason for it. And the cool part about him was like, you can meet this guy in the first 5 minutes you met him, you hated him, you want him in the mouth, you just wished he would die and get away. And then like, if you gave him another 5 minutes after that, and you listen to his apology or like his reasoning for whatever just happened before that, in the next 10 minutes, he's the best man at your wedding. He had this crazy inane ability to just infuriate you and then make you love him so quickly and fiercely. So he had this whole gang of guys behind him, and just, man, the like I said, there's like 30 to 40 of us there, and I think we have a picture, a still of sparring, and we did a tally one day when all of us were together. And it was like in this picture of 30 guys, there's like 17 gold belts, like 12 UFC fights, like 9 Bellator fights, a couple World Series fights, like just King of the Cage. It's crazy. But yeah, John brought us all together, and it's just wild to think of that one guy can do that. There's so many domineering different personalities who didn't know any better. So this one is for him. because Izzy and I were two of those delinquents, so we'll fight each other to honor John and venerate him and his memory. His daughter will corner Izzy, his son will corner me, and yeah.
That's crazy, man. There's so much respect between you two guys and so much love. And man, when you talk about like normally when people talk about love, they don't think about fighting. But I know like that love is gonna bring out a great fight, and both of you guys are gonna leave it in the ring. And he's gonna try and knock you out to make you look bad, but in a loving way. And I know you're gonna do the same to him, and man, it's gonna be some artful violence with a lot of love behind it. And you're gonna see those like little looks in between that like only two really great training partners can have. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah, I am too. It's weird. It's like because I know him so well, there's a weird comfort as to where I'm not looking at a film or anything. Like I don't need to. I know him very well. This fight's at welterweight. I spent most of my career at featherweight, so I'm just eating all the spoils of Western New York and just getting fat a little bit, padding up for this fight. Like if I'm being completely honest, I'm not gonna be throwing any flying knees or elbows at his face. I'm not trying to cut him. If I stagger him, I'm not going in for the kill. But my God, you best believe I'm trying to hit him hard. Like I said before, man, it's what he's one of those guys where it's him and I. We love each other, but one hand washes the other. You know what I mean? Like, so he hits me, I'm gonna hit him. It's gonna go back and forth and escalate. And the problem is, he's very good. So am I. we're neither of us gonna want to like be the loser. Neither of us gonna want to back down. So it's gonna be just like how it always was when we got together. And the only people who really win are the ones watching.
We talked about earlier off air, just about how John would bring people in just to watch you guys spar.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you really wanted me to talk about it, but I feel like a perfect time to talk about that. Like the sparring that you guys had was so good. I remember him talking about it when I came in to spar with you guys down in Ohio when I was getting ready for my fight too. Thank you once again for having me down there. And man, like there's, there's something special that's going on in that cage, and it's something special for Etika. Like listen to Dan talk about it. Like this show is huge. I worked for like a rival. I worked for K4, and they just had their show. But this is means so much more to me than like any gym, any organization. Like none of that stuff matters. Like it's always about the fighters. And you're on this card, and there's another young kid, Mason Lewis, fighting on this card. We sponsor him. We gave him $200 at K4. Came to K4 with $13 in his pocket. He just jumped on the card. And so, like, I raised a bunch of money to give away bonuses for like submission of the night and like fight of the night and all kinds of stuff. So I gave away $800. Like 200 was my own money. You know what I mean? Just to give away money to people.
Hey.
And he was one of those guys, and he's gonna be someone special too. He's gonna be on this card. Daniel Baker, he fought on K4 card. He's gonna be on this card. There's some South Towns MMA guys fighting on this card. They're gonna be on this card. There's so many good fights on this card, and you're the headline. So man, the fans can't miss out going to see the show in Attica. I know it's a far drive for a lot of my fans, but man, take your time, go see this fight, and get the table from Kyle, man. Hook him up. Gotta feed his kids.
Yeah. They're good. They're good. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice event, man. I'm very excited to do it.
How long are you in town for?
I'm leaving the day after the fight. I go back to.
That sucks. I wish we get some time together. I want to call another fight with you someday before we're old and dead.
Oh, that'd be great, man. I'd love to do that.
I'm getting some practice. I'm getting really good at not saying things you can't say anymore.
And I've seen some of the work. I've been listening to some of your past portfolio, and there's nothing wrong. You're doing well. You're doing it. Like,
You're like, you can't say that. I was like, what do you mean rape choke? You can't say rape choke. He's rape choking him.
little sketch.
Oh, that's so wild, man. I miss you so much. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, man.
No, my pleasure, man. Thank you. This is wonderful. I'm so happy to be a part of the scene still. You know, it's nice to feel relevant after all these years.
Dude, the other day I was sitting around and you know how Facebook brings memories up. And that time I came on your podcast was just up in my memories, like just weeks
Oh
ago.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That was the first podcast I was ever on. And now I've done like almost 200 myself. And holy cow. So
Wow.
different.
Yeah, man. I was just gonna comment on the first commentary get together. That was that the fire hall and
Yeah. North Tonawanda.
yes, thank you.
Yeah. Was that when Bubba and Mickey fought, or was that when or Bubba and Keith fought, or was that when Keith and Mickey fought? Can't remember which show that was that we called together. It was Pat Mix in the yellow shorts. I remember that. It was Pat Mix's first TNT fight.
Isn't
Bellator
that,
superstar.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah. $1 million man. He won $1 million freaking dollars.
I forgot about that. I forgot that we had actually called one of his fights.
Yeah.
Wow.
I made fun of his shorts in that fight too.
Uh,
Him and
and him,
Tatiana are in town too, man. They're I'm not sure where they are right now, but it was just his birthday yesterday, so they're up in town too.
good on him. Like, breaking it to WNY. Pat makes you're a beast. Much love. 585 and 4716. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, him and
Awesome.
Tatiana, like the two best grapplers in two divisions. Like I think he's the best 35-pound grappler in any UFC or Bellator, and I think she's the best 15-pound female in the world. Like her grappling is so good.
It's going to be interesting to see what the next few years hold for them.
Yeah, I would hate to watch them fight. The household's probably not that serene.
Yeesh. I don't know if they won that tournament, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right,
If
so you're coming to the fights on Saturday, right?
I'm gonna try and make it out. I have my picnic. I'm gonna try and make it out. Probably not gonna make most of the fights, but I would like to make it out for your fight. So I'm gonna try and like scoot in and catch your fight, but I'm probably not gonna be there for most of the fight. So I really want to see Mason Lewis fight too, but there's no way I'm gonna make it. I'm be at my place till 4. So by the time I make it out there, like the fight's already be underway. But man, I can't make it on any earlier than that. I don't care because you're the main event. You're the only person I really. Honestly, I love everyone on the card and I want to see all the fights, but like, there's only one fight that's emotional for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like.
Thank you.
I see fights all the time, man. Like, it takes something special to move me. You know.
Well, come say hey to me when you get there, right?
I will definitely and buy a beer after the fights or something, man. I gotta do something for you. Is your girlfriend still fighting? Is Rebecca still fighting, or is
My
she's done
wife.
too? Your wife? Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, your wife.
No, she hasn't fought since we have had kids now.
Yeah. Is she done too, or is she like looking for a retirement fight?
Well, as of I mean, she got a hurt shoulder. Her nose is messed up from her last fight in ONE FC, and then she had the two kids. But we have talked about it, and I mean it's not out of the realm of impossibility. So we'll see.
If you get one, she's gotta get one. That's how marriage works, dog.
No, I kind of actually figured that would be around. But I was mildly expecting that, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. If you need anything while you're in town, man, let me know. I appreciate you taking your time to come on here. I know it's late for you. I know like you're training. So I got some training with Jacob Bonin too, man.
Yeah,
I like that. That guy's a stud. Hopefully he can make Bellator. Like he's he needs get some sponsors behind him too. We're gonna try and pump him up a little bit. Caveman's corner.
he's a super smooth fighter, really technical guy. Really great down to earth dude too. You know, so like I really hope he finds his stride, gets some big success, and get some sponsors behind him. Like you said, if that dude can just train, he's gonna do our area proud, man. He really will.
I agree. He's got so much better. Like every time I see him, he's better, man. And that's what it takes to be great. And I didn't mean to talk about someone else over the top of you, but it's
Not at all.
cool that he got it in. I want to give him a shout out every time I can. Thank you so much for coming on, Kyle, and I will see you Saturday. And man, stay safe, stay strong, and steal those gloves after you lay them down because you definitely want to take them home with you. Those FCP guys always want their gloves back.
Captain Caveman.
And friends, thank you for your time, man. Coyote, peace out.
Later, man.